Hello, Alicia.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
Fantastic. Good job on social networking, your presence on our show today. We appreciate you going out there and doing some good stuff out there.
Absolutely. Nobody knows if you don't tell them, right?
That's right. That's right. Alicia, thank you so much for coming on. We have some cool things to ask you. Now, I've spent a little bit of time with Alicia, and I had a chance to talk with her about what she does. And I'll tell you what, Scott, it's really interesting. You know, hypnotherapy, we usually have a connotation with that it brings a connotation that there's a guy
like
on stage.
Cruise ships.
Cruise ships, yeah, on the stage, laughing and guffawing and putting people to sleep, acting like, what'd you say?
They're cackling like a chicken. Yep,
that kind of stuff, right? And we realize that is not what this is about. This is business hypnotherapy. This is serious stuff. And
very serious.
So we want you to speak really seriously, Alicia, here about your.
Geez. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
so,
it's early.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you're an hour behind, aren't you?
I'm an hour ahead of you guys.
Yeah. So it is 8:15 over there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Thank you for so much for getting up early for us. So why don't you tell people what you do, first of all, and then we'll kind of go from there. I know you probably sent some good questions over, but let's go ahead and start off. What do you do for a living, Alicia?
Well, let me tell you, the best way is to experience it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do a hypnosis session over the air, but just remember a time when you were just in the zone and everything was just flowing perfectly. You felt confident, assertive, almost that kind of unstoppable energy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when your subconscious thoughts, beliefs, and expectations are congruent with your goals.
Yeah.
So if you think of a time when you struggled, when whatever you were doing seemed almost impossible no matter how hard you tried, well, that's what happens when your subconscious beliefs and expectations are incongruent with your goals. And hypnosis is one of the single most effective techniques to change your subconscious programming. So it's literally like having the key to making your mind work for you to achieve the business and financial goals that you want to achieve. And that's my specialty. That's what I do.
That's very interesting. Now, how does this pertain to if other – obviously, it probably is not going to – I guess, how does it work in when you have other people that are maybe prohibiting that process, that growth in, let's say, you're a business owner and he's relying on employees. Do you work with the whole organization?
Well, you can, and you don't have to.
Okay.
So that's the good news. And without getting too much into, the deeper stuff, if we just look at, we'll take the CEO of a company, for example. You are the dominant energy in your business. And if you have, let's even say that you have some self-confidence issues, or maybe, it's manifesting as a short temper. Well, how is that impacting your employees' performance?
Okay.
And if you shift that, if you change that and become a very positive, motivating leader, your team is going to reflect that as well.
So you're saying my management style that typically includes at least once a day throwing a chair at somebody is probably not a recommended strategy from your perspective?
I wouldn't recommend it if you're serious about increasing your revenue. We'll just put it that way.
Now, what if they're really bad employees and I want them out of there and I know I can do all this stuff myself? Then we go forth with a plan.
Well, I'm sure you guys would agree that trying to run a company all by yourself is
tough.
Very limiting.
Yeah, you got it.
And you have to be a good team player.
You mentioned.
That said, it all comes back to start with yourself first. And, a lot of companies, big corporations, are bringing coaches and hypnotherapists into the organization to work with their teams.
You mentioned when we were on the phone, Alicia, that people really only use about what percent? You mentioned a small percentage of their conscious mind, but that there was a very large percentage.
Think of it this way: your conscious mind is like the tip of the iceberg, and your subconscious mind is all of your attitudes, your beliefs, your behaviors, those habit patterns. So about 95% of your day, you're literally running on autopilot. So you're reacting to things the way that's pre-programmed in your subconscious mind.
So all the scripts that are in your head are playing all day long. Okay.
Have you ever hypnotized somebody over the phone by chance?
Yes.
Really?
It's just as effective, although the one-on-one offers a unique experience. The phone sessions are becoming a lot more popular. It allows people to find the right person for them, regardless of your demographic.
So if you wanted to hypnotize my partner into being a stronger negotiator, for that matter, you could do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I
like
wouldn't be able to do it in 7 minutes, but I
okay.
could.
Okay. Well, we were hoping you could do like a quick 30-second hypnotic experience.
You can give me
for
just
us.
half as good. That would be
Just
really
just give it a That's good. What is it what's the biggest misconception that you run into out there as as a hypnotherapist? I mean, well, first of all, I know there's an education process because like I said, there's that misconception there. But not only what's the biggest misconception, but how do you overcome that?
Well, people, it's best if people do a little bit of research, I'll be very honest, because there are quite a few common misconceptions. The biggest one is that people think, oh, I can't be hypnotized because they've seen these stage hypnosis shows and they've seen these things on TV where people are like flopping over in this weird kind of, woo-woo state.
Yeah.
And the truth is that most individuals go into a lighter depth than that. They go into a lighter stage. So it's if you think of a time when you're really, really, really deeply relaxed, like right before you fall asleep, your brain waves are slowed down and you're in a high state of suggestibility. So the truth is that virtually anyone can be hypnotized, and you really want to work with somebody who has the tools to effectively maximize that brainwave state.
Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, it's kind of fascinating to see that that the opportunity exists for people to really tap into their psyche like this and really gain the advantages they need to, Scott. Right?
right. And I know for a fact that a lot of people are running their businesses with the limiting beliefs, and they could be doing so much better if they were just made aware and were freed from those those internal binds that they have in their mind, I think.
Yeah, I just talked to a sales rep yesterday. I said, "What's the most money you've ever made?" And he said, 100,000. He says, and I don't know why I've done that. He says, I've always told myself I wanted to make 100,000, but really I've always wanted to make anywhere from 150,000 to 200,000. And I said, well, it would seem obvious to the lay person not to set that goal, but it really isn't that obvious.
Right, and when you're in it, oh my God, it's so hard to see. So that outside perspective really helps because we tell ourselves these stories and we really get stuck in our own heads. And you kind of have to take a step outside of that analytical part of yourself just long enough to be able to objectively see what's standing in your way.
Wow, that's
very interesting.
That's fantastic. Now, how can people get in touch with you? If they want to learn more about what you do, there's some things that people, ways they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a special gift for your listeners, and if they go to business-lifecoach.com and enter in their email address, you will receive a complimentary copy of my ebook, 3 Steps to Creating a Breakthrough in Your Business Today, and I'm also giving you a copy of my Increased Self-Confidence Hypnosis.
Wonderful.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And if I want to give that free giveaway away anytime in the future, is that only for is that a one-time offer? Or if they're out listening to our show, can we send them to your
anytime you are welcome to. I've got it up on my website now. I was busy working late last night to make sure everything was ready. So
right.
Send them all over, and there's also information if they want to contact me to answer any questions.
Great, Alicia. Well, that's awesome. We thank you so much for coming over.
Well, thank you for having me.
That's it's been a
give that website one more time.
Yeah,
there was with the hyphen. I know that's going to throw some people off.
business-lifecoach.com.
Great.
Guys, you know what it is. We all sit there and think that we know what we want, when we want it, how we want it. We want to feel confident in our feelings there. But quite frankly, there may be some things lying in our subconscious that could bring some awareness to some things that can move us forward real quickly. So
I'll tell you real quick.
Yeah, please.
That even my very most successful clients, the ones that on the outside looking in appear to have it all, they still have hang-ups
Yeah.
that are keeping them from that next level.
Yeah, you
so
should meet
no matter
Jason
where
sometime.
you're at, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, that you have just described me. I'm the biggest underachiever you'll ever meet in your entire life. So thanks, Scott, man. Well, thank you so much, Alicia. We appreciate you coming on, and definitely get in touch with Alicia Cramer and go to her website and let her know that you heard us over here on the radio show at Toledo Biz Talk. And
I'm going to visit the website later on today.
In fact, we may get a hold of you, Alicia, because I'm sure that my partner, and I'm sure he feels the same way, needs some hypnotherapy on
Awesome.
Real quick here. So
Awesome.
thanks so much, Alicia. We appreciate it. Call us anytime. We appreciate you calling in. And, in fact, we might get her on a little bit more often because there may be some specific clients that we can have her help out.
Yeah. I'd love to do something over the phone even one time.
Yeah, that would
That'd
be
be
awesome.
cool.
If you can find a way to condense it down a
How
little bit.
long does it take, just out
Yeah.
of curiosity, over the phone? Like, what's your normal session?
Well, a typical session is going to be about an hour.
Oh,
just
okay.
but that includes the coaching portion of it.
Yeah,
And
take the coaching portion out of it, and maybe is there any way you can get it down to 10, 15 minutes?
We probably could do that. If you gave me, especially if you gave me an opportunity to do a little bit of pre-work,
Oh, yeah.
no problem. We can easily do it.
Okay.
Scott will send over his life story over to you via email, so you can get right on that, please. Thanks so much, Alicia. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to 1230 AM WCWA, home of Toledo Biz Talk.